Okay, people, this is the Desert Shaman. I'm in a different part of Sandy Valley now and got a much better place. Uh, Brand new digs, more of a bunker mindset here, bunker mentality. Uh, More property surrounding me, less people can invade or intrude upon my privacy. Feel real good about it, especially considering what's going on right now with the gun grab thing, and it's worse than a gun grab. This whole thing with the left and the students coming out and saying all these different things about how we should not have the Second Amendment anymore. You know, I've been talking about this for so long, and I told you it was coming, and here it is. Okay, and so now you got this going on. Okay, and then you got the attack on the Second Amendment, and you got all these kids coming out, okay, from these schools, um, who are nothing more, and I know I might catch some flack for this, nothing more than useful idiots, okay, and they're being used by George Soros again and that group. So basically, what's happening right now is there's a full-fledged, full-on full bore attack on our gun rights. Okay, isn't the first time, but this might be one of the worst times because they have done false flag after false flag. Okay, they've done Vegas. They've got, it's just a continuous stream. And there's been conflicting stories on this shooting at the school in Florida, Parkland, or wherever it is. There's just one right after the other. And there's stories from teachers themselves that said that the person that everybody thinks did the shooting was actually with them, not doing the shooting, and that there were people coming in black covert type, SWAT team things, outfits, killing the kids. So you got all kinds of conflicting stories. And then you got another story about during that shooting, some people in black hoods and black outfits, okay, came in and removed a body, removed something while was all going on. Couple that with the fact that the sheriffs were told to stand down. So basically, what it adds up to is another false flag. Okay, another staged incident, another incident like Las Vegas. All it takes is just looking a little bit behind the scenes. Okay, going behind the scenes a little bit and checking out what's going on and knowing, okay, that this is just another in a series of set up events. Okay, now, this latest thing, they're putting the full court press on with this as far as trying to grab our guns, okay, and try to destroy the Second Amendment. It's pure and simple communism, okay. It's Marxism. It's exactly what I said was going to come down the road here, and it already is coming down the road. Now, here's another thing they're doing. It's coupled with freedom of speech. Okay, so you got the First Amendment and you got the Second Amendment under attack here. The Second Amendment's coming under attack, and then anybody that disagrees with this gun grab thing, uh, they're being taken down. I mean, even guys that are professional shooters, okay, that let's say do reviews on different types of handguns and shooting and very legitimate. I mean, these people have 3 million viewers. They've been on the YouTube since day one. People like Hickok45, who is an older gentleman that reviews guns and does a very good job of reviewing guns in a very tasteful manner, okay? And then he actually does some shooting at targets, stuff like that. Well, these people are being singled out now. Anything that has to do with a gun, okay, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether these people have a few subscribers or 3 million subscribers, they go back into the archives and they dig some old video that they had done years ago and they give them what they call a strike, okay? 3 strikes and you're out type thing, okay? And there's no rhyme or reason for the strikes. There's no legitimate explanation, okay? And they're doing this to all kinds of people, all the gun people, everybody that has anything on guns, okay? On YouTube, they're starting to put strikes against anybody that tells the truth about what's going on, like I'm doing right now. Anybody that starts telling the truth, okay? I doubt if they'll pick on me because I'm kind of a little fish here. I don't have 2,100 subscribers and I got 1,000, okay? Do that many people watch these videos? Probably not, but hey, maybe as the others get taken down, people like me can rise up and at least last for a little while. But basically what they're doing, it's like Nazi Germany, okay? And these kids that they get coming out talking about, we don't even need the Second Amendment anymore, and my classmates got shot, and blah, bitty, blah, blah, blah. And using foul language too, which ain't all that bad, I guess. But for a kid representing his classmates that got shot down, and they're using these kids just like the Hitler Youth movement, okay? And Soros is doing this. Now let me just explain a little bit about Soros, okay? Just so you know, you've heard me talk about him. You've heard me mentioned numerous times about what an ass he is and what he's trying to do as far as overtaking the Constitution and the United States of America and changing it into a New World Order globalist agenda, okay? And that means, okay, in order to do that, that he has to take guns away from people because nobody's going to put up with the bullshit that he's dishing out. But this guy was he goes way back to World War II, right? And when he was a kid, okay, in World War II, his father was a lawyer or something like that. And he was Jewish, and so was Soros, obviously. And what they did is they turned on their own people. They turned in their fellow Jews, okay, and made money, okay, off the deal as they marched them away to the death camps. Soros and his father got off scot-free. So that kind of tells you the ilk or the what they're made out of, okay, where they come from. Does he have a conscience at all? No. So this is the guy that is funding all these protests, okay, in favor of Hillary and the far leftist agenda and the gun grabbers and the freaks, the ones with purple hair and all these different groups, these NGOs, non-government operations or organizations funded by George Soros for the purpose of overthrowing whatever country he seems to show up in, okay? Excuse me. So that's what we got going here, people, and it's getting so strong now. I mean, censorship. Oh, but back to the kids again. Let me finish on that. The kids with they actually have armbands now, kind of like the Hitler Youth movement, you know. And they even have these salutes and all this stuff, and so they're using these kids, okay? They're using, and I hear this. There's rumors, okay, that not all kids are on board with this, and there's a lot of kids that are more on the conservative bent and have parents that way that are really being coerced and threatened, okay, to go out and do these protests. So this is what's happening, people. This is I told you this a long time ago. I've repeated it time and time again. It's just a matter of time. If people don't get off their ass and start doing something about it, getting vocal, okay, uh, doing class action lawsuits, maybe against YouTube, taking some action here, because if you just sit around, this stuff's going to come in like a tsunami and wipe everybody out, okay? Next thing you know, it's going to be 1984 George Orwell's New World Order, and the deep state will be in complete control, and you won't even be able to have sex and relationships without having somebody looking at you in a little eye in your house or something. So the people that do have guns now, you better start using them, okay? You better start making plans at least, okay? I'm tired of this mamby-pamby. I mean, I watch some people on... there's a lot of people out there talking, and some of them have some good things to say. So-called patriot, Christian patriots or whatever. I'm not a Christian. Everybody knows that. I'm native, and I don't really believe in the Christian ethic and the Bible thumping and all that bullshit, end times and all this stuff. Could it be getting near some kind of critical mass situation? Well, kind of looks that way, don't it? But I'm telling you, there's people out there that do like to talk a lot. There's people out there. You have the Q movement. You have Tracy Beans. You have Roy Potter and the Potter Expositor. You have people that are saying some pretty good things, but they're relying too much on Trump, okay? They're putting all their hope and faith in one man to overthrow this giant cabal that's been in power since day one, the Rothschilds and the big bankers and the central bankers and all this stuff, and people like George Soros and Bloomberg and all these people that definitely have an agenda, and that agenda is to take your rights away, to take your freedoms away, to take your guns away, because people without guns are easily herded into different facilities and easily told what to do. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen because where I live out here in a secluded community in the middle of the Nevada desert, people don't take too kindly to this kind of thing, and they're just sitting around watching, seeing what's going to happen here. So people, you need to really pay attention, because it would be irresponsible as somebody like me or anybody else that knows the score. And there's plenty of vets out here, and there's plenty of people around the country that know the score, that know what's going on, that know that it's all starting to be just a giant onslaught to the taking away of every freedom that we have, okay? So it's time for people to band together, to get prepared, mostly just to have the knowledge that it is happening, okay? If you can't see it happening now, if you can't see it with all these YouTube channels going down, like the Health Ranger, for example, the guy that did a complete show on the ballistics and everything surrounding the shooting in Las Vegas, and he also is real big on health products, has been for a long time. I think he's a vet. young guy. Really made a good name for himself, and guess what? He had thousands of videos, and boom, next day his channel was gone on YouTube. So these people have infiltrated, they've been infiltrating things like platforms like Google and YouTube and just probably LinkedIn and Facebook and the whole slew of them. Okay, they're all in this together. Okay, they're all connected. They're all CIA fronts. Okay, so you gotta be aware of this, and the more people that can talk to other people and maybe pass this video around, make people know here, because even me, I mean, they'll probably flag this video. Even though I'm a little fish, I don't have thousands of subscribers and all this. They're just going through with these spiders, electronic spiders, and finding words, okay? And if it says anything about guns or Las Vegas shooting or, anything that is against their agenda, okay? And these people can only be called by the name that they are, and I think that it's a combination. Basically, it's totalitarianism, okay? And that is mostly associated with Marxism and communism, okay? And are there good parts of communism? Well, I suppose there are. Maybe the sharing part, the communal part, communism, that might be okay, but the rest of it, the totalitarian, the mindset of like everything has to be done a certain way, and you got to fall into lockstep with this, and it's very, very dangerous. Okay, it's very dangerous. So it's not just pure communism. It's a mix of corporatism, okay, and Marxism and communism. Maybe a little bit of fascism in there too. So basically, we're on the brink here of, if not destruction of the planet, then certainly destruction of our rights, okay? As people that have lived up to this point in a relatively quote unquote free country, okay? So it is something to consider, okay? It's something to consider. It's something to be prepared for. It's something to take action against. Okay, now how you take that action, that's up to you, okay? But everybody should take some kind of action. If you feel that calling your congressman and signing petitions and all this is going to do any good, and some of it does, then do it. I know I've signed a couple of petitions with Arizona Defense League, who stands up for gun rights and is fighting some of these outrageous gun laws in court, okay? And now even some ex Supreme Justice, Justice of the Supreme Court came out and said, oh, well, I don't think we need the Second Amendment anymore. So it's getting dangerous, okay, when this kind of shit happens, okay? You know that we're on the brink of some kind of total civil war. Could end up in civil war. So I would tell everybody to be as prepared as you can be. Get out of the cities. Get a food stock going. Get plenty of water, plenty of food, plenty of ammo, plenty of guns, okay? Because this could lead to some kind of situation where there's some kind of martial law. Everybody right now is like into Trump. All these Christian patriots. Oh, he's gonna arrest Hillary, and he's gonna arrest Podesta, and he's gonna arrest this person and that person, and he's gonna go after Soros, and he's this and he's that. And like I'm saying to myself, really? Well, let's see. And every week it's something different. It's like, okay, well, we got indictments coming, or it's a sign because McCabe got fired, one of the flunkies for the FBI. It's a sign that because he got fired that there's indictments, and there's always this: there's indictments, there's arrests, but nothing ever freaking happens. Okay, nothing ever happens. Just talk, 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 talk. So I want to see some action. I want to see some action from Trump. Okay, I want to see him grow a pair of balls. Okay, and do what he said he's going to do. First of all, the first thing he has to do is stand up against these people that are trying to take the guns away and not give an inch with his bullshit about, okay, well, the bump stocks then, or whatever. Okay, and then get with, okay, going after these people. If he's after the deep state, let's see some action. Let's see some action, Trump. Okay. Let's see, he even said in the election process, oh, well, I'm going to arrest Hillary when I get in. Really? Well, where is that? That hasn't happened, has it? And he's always known for this art of the deal. And sometimes I wonder, well, what did he do? Make a deal with the deep state? I mean, it's just absurd, okay? That if he claims to have all these agendas about making America great again and everything, first of all, the only way you're going to make America great is get rid of all the evil, okay? Get rid of all the assholes that are taking over these kids and using these kids and their minds as useful idiots, okay, to go out there and protest about something they don't even know anything about. Okay, so let's call a spade, or how about this? Let's call a spade what it really is: a dirty freaking shovel. Okay, this is what's going on. This is what needs to be stopped. This is what needs to be shared. Okay. With your fellow man. And no, all gun owners are not Christian patriots, okay? Let's get this straight, too. They're not all conservative Christian patriots, okay? There's a lot of people in this country that just love guns and love the fact that it's our right to defend ourselves. I mean, wait a minute here. Let's get something else straight. Long before the Constitution, okay, my people, the indigenous people of this land, had guns, okay, they had powder, they had bow and arrows, they had weapons, okay. But guess what happened? When the European man came in here and the blue coats came in here, they confiscated as many weapons as they could. And if they couldn't get weapons because they didn't seem to have a handle on getting hold of all the weapons that the quote-unquote savages had, they went after the ammo, they went after the powder. So basically they rendered these people defenseless, and where did they end up? Well, they ended up being killed in a massive genocide and put on reservations. Need I say any more? Okay. So this isn't really about the Constitution of the United States, okay? This is about each person's right, okay, to be free and to defend their family and to defend themselves and not be told what to do every 5 minutes by somebody that thinks that they should be, that they have our best interests at heart and we should live the way they want us to live. And oh my God, what a horrible nightmare, okay? So the minute that they see, so the arms, okay, the firearms, that's just it's almost a metaphor, okay, for giving up your freedom, giving up your freedom. So you really need to think about that. It's not just about guns. And, people go, well, guns are, you can't take my gun away because I think I have the right to hunt, Well, that's a bunch of crap, too. I mean, It ain't about hunting, people. It's about protecting your family and protecting your life, okay, and having a means to defend yourself. And your right to do it. Your right to have equal parity, okay, with the government, who has all kinds of guns and all kinds of weapons and all kinds of means to put the people in subjection to them. Well, why shouldn't we have the same right? Okay, what gives them the right to have all these weapons and guns and all that, and so we can't have them? Well, that's pretty obvious what they want to do. Okay, it's pretty obvious. So no, it isn't all about the Constitution. And no, it isn't. It's about your right as an individual to have as much equal parity and as much equality. Now, did the founding fathers talk about tyranny? And did they talk about what would happen if a government got out of control? Well, sure they did, because they knew, because they were at war with Britain. And they were trying to be put under subjugation by Britain. And so they were fighting that whole deal. So that's where the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that stuff came from. Is it useful? Well, it's a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper. And it's a rule. And what do they do? What does the cabal, or what does the deep state do? Well, they break the rules. Okay, rules weren't meant for them. Okay, pieces of paper weren't meant for them. So you got to realize this, people, and you got to start listening to what people like myself have to say, and start taking action. Start taking action, because if you don't take action now, you got all these people out there that are being co-opted by Soros and Bloomberg, and got these students being bussed around, and you got the mainstream media lying about how many students there were, claiming that there were 10 times the amount, and it's a full court press. It's a full court press for guns and your freedom. You better wake up, and you better start doing something now. Anyway, I'll leave it there tonight. This is Thunder, the Desert Shaman. Until next time, adios.